Hello and welcome to English 111, Week 3. Wow, we're just zipping right along. This is the week where we start doing a little more work, so here we are to our Moodle page. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. Go down here to Week 3. Goals for this week. You have the Mind Tap reading and quizzes. You have to get that done by this Saturday. Okay, that's one thing. You are working on the rough draft of Thesis 1. That is basically the... that was done from last week. You were introduced to it. Okay. Yeah, the narrative assignment. So you started working on that. It's basically just the first paragraph of your narrative story. That's what you're working on. Okay? Yes. That is due Monday the 25th by 11:55. Make sure you get that done. Now, in addition, we're going to be doing peer reviews, which will be due on Wednesday. I'll show you how that works in a second with an online class. And then you get to work on the first draft of your full paper. Okay, so let's kind of go through this. For week 3, you're watching this video. So, in addition, there's 2 other videos you get to watch. Neither one of them are very long. They're both under 10 minutes. There's a lecture on narration, basically just kind of to help you to understand what narration is, and it kind of backs up what you're going to be reading in the book. There's also a lecture on description, which will help you when you're writing. I won't spend a lot of time on that here because the videos explain those. So make sure you watch that video and that video again. Neither one of them are very long, and they are actually very helpful as far as what you're going to be doing. Now, for this week, you're supposed to have a narration thesis. So it's like your first paragraph. So I actually created a little example here, narration thesis example. So let's go ahead and click on it. This is all you have to submit. Okay? 1 paragraph. This is the opening paragraph to a story. And this is just an example I gave. It was a dark and stormy night. Okay, that's the most cliche opening ever. That's very common, so don't use that one. Okay, anyway, it was a dark and stormy night. I sat alone in my room. Rain assaulted the window and fierce winds caused tree branches to claw at the house's walls. The power had gone out several hours ago. My iPhone was almost out of power, yet I kept still trying to get anyone to answer my texts. I'd never felt so afraid in my life. Okay, so what this basically does is it sets up the story, kind of figures out what's going on, and it kind of, I'd never felt so afraid in my life. That is the kind of the thesis part of this. Okay, that's kind of why it's explaining why this story is important. Why are you telling me this story? So that's an example of a thesis. So that's all you have to do for this week. So you're going to write it, and then you're going to submit it. So here's how you do that. So after you write your thesis, your little first paragraph, okay, you're going to click on this, okay, and then this is how you get, okay, so basically if you got to make sure it's complete without errors, meaning no spelling errors, no grammar errors, okay, and it's completed and error-free, so this is basically how you do it. So then you would add a submission, and then you'd find it. Now you can, oops, let's see if I can go to my documents here. I should have had this loaded up. Woo! Okay, so then I could just download, like I could do that, boom, and then save changes, and boom, I've uploaded it. Ta-da! So now there it is. And, okay, so that's been submitted. That's done. Okay. Now let's go back to with the class. So that's how you're going to do it. Now after you submit it, let's go back to week 3 here. After you submit your narration, you have to do that again by the 25th, by 11:55 p.m., just like I showed you. Then there is the peer reviews. We're going to get to the Mind Tap quizzes here in just a second. But the peer review. So what I want you to do is you are also going to post your rough draft through the peer reviews. This feature right here. And I want you to read at least 3 other people's rough drafts and give them feedback, looking for the following. Are there any glaring spelling or grammar issues? Does the opening paragraph make you want to read more? Why or why not? List at least one thing they did well. Okay, you have until Wednesday at 11:55 to get this done. So how you do that is you click on this, and I'm going to add a new discussion topic. Okay, now you can, and the subject would be Jason Morgan's story. Whatever. Okay, now I can either go ahead and, because I got my story right here, okay, I can either just copy and paste my story in here. That's fine, okay. Or I can drag it and drop it into here. So if I already have it written somewhere else, I could, like right here, I could just drag it and drop it. Either way is fine. Okay, and then you're going to post to the forum. You can do one or the other. You don't have to do both. Post to the forum. Okay. So now, let's say, yeah, da-da. Okay. So now here it is. So now when people go into, let's go back to this. So now when people go back to the forum for week 3, the peer reviews, they can go and say, oh, look, some people, whatever, have, whatever. I want you to look at 3 other people's stories. Reply to those who have not been replied to first. Okay? I don't want someone with 100 replies and someone with 0. So reply to those who haven't been replied to first. How you do that is you just click on the story, and then boom, there it is. Or if they uploaded it, then you click on this and then you could read it. Okay? But then it was a darkened stormy night. You'd read their first opening part, and you're like, wow, that's interesting. Then you want to reply to it. Click on reply. Okay, so this is how you give them the feedback. You say, wow, that is a great opening. I don't see any grammar mistakes. I liked how you described the house being attacked by the weather. Okay, so that's really all you need to do. Just give them some feedback. If they do have mistakes, say, hey, look, you spelled iPhone wrong. That's actually how you spell iPhone, with a little I and then a capital P. Anyway, but that's how you do it. And then you would just go ahead and you'd post to the forum. So then when you go back, now when we look at this, okay, so let's see, there's the original post, and then there's the reply. That's what RE, reply. Okay, so also when you go back to this part right here, the introduction for, actually, no, week 3, sorry, there we go. So now when I click on it, I can see that one person has already replied to this story. So I would look for other people who have not been replied to first before I reply to this one. See how that works? Pretty cool, huh? Last thing we're doing this week, and it's actually kind of big, is that you are going to be starting MindTap reading. Okay, MindTap. So this is, you don't actually submit anything here. It's all done through MindTap. I put this here because I have to manually move the grades over. We explained in previous videos how to access MindTap. If you haven't done that, how to access MindTap, it's right here. Go back and watch the course navigation videos and stuff that explains how to do that. But once you get into MindTap, this is what it looks like. We are in week 3, and these are the things you get to do. So you get to read this, and read this, and read this, and read this. So these, you see how they have like these little book things next to them? These are quizzes, okay? So first you're going to do is just click on this, and the learning objectives are easy. They're just really short. It's like, yeah, that's easy. Okay. Yay, I'm done with that. So, okay, and then I just go back. So I looked, okay, if that's what or I can close it, I guess. Boop. Okay. Then I would actually read the chapter. And the chapter is a little more involved. Okay. And then you're just going to read and read and read. Make sure you understand this. You can make notes. Again, that was explained in an earlier video. Then you get to take the quizzes. There's 2 quizzes. There's one here and one here. It's based on this chapter 1. Alrighty? So take those quizzes. Whatever grade you score, I will then put into Moodle. Also, I want you to read Chapter 17, which is narration, which is what you're working on right now. That's what we're jumping over to 17. So make sure you read all these by January the 30th. 30th. Okay, let's go back to Moodle for a second. Now, looking ahead, okay, so what you have to do this week, make sure you submit your rough draft, make sure you post to the forum, and then respond to 3 people by the 27th, and make sure you read that stuff on MindTap and take those quizzes by the 30th. Looking ahead, doesn't give you a whole heck of a lot of time here, the rough draft of the full paper is due that Monday the 1st. What? Yes. So Monday the 1st, you're going to write out the full paper. Again, oh my gosh, how long does that have to be? Okay, again, it is right here, the narrative paper assignment. Narrative paper assignment explains what the assignment is. You get to choose one of these 2 things. It needs to be between 2 and 5 pages. The rough draft, you're going to use the best you can to write a good story, and then you're going to submit it by the 1st. So, yeah, lots of stuff. English class, yay English. All right, if you have questions, please ask. Again, I'm here to help, but I may say watch the videos if you ask questions that I've already answered. All right. Thank you very much.